Yeah, I think Liam was a big one for us, you know. I think it's kind of hard not to be a boy band and look up to One Direction and what they did and everything they did. So yeah, when we like first kind of met Liam and spoke to him, it was just like, just in awe of like, holy shit, like we're standing with you right now and you're giving us advice.
Midnight Til Morning, welcome to Airing Your Dirty Laundry. Thanks so much
Hello.
for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, this is very, very exciting. I feel very like honored almost to have one of the first interviews with you guys because, you know, everything's happening so quickly. And I suppose let's start out with post-show feelings. How are you all feeling now that it's all finished and done?
Good. I think we were waiting for so long. We filmed like a year ago. So it's just good to finally be able to hang out together publicly and, you know, start actually
Doing work.
So,
I would like to know, going into the show, how did you all get selected to actually be on this?
I mean, I was reached out to. I did some other shows like this, and then they kind of just kept sending me the next one. And then, so I got a phone call. Fought them a bit because I didn't want to do another TV show. But
Really? So you've done TV prior to this?
yeah, I did The Voice and American Idol.
Okay.
And, then I was like, no, I'm not doing any more because they didn't really do too much for me.
Yeah.
And, they convinced me. They said it was Netflix, and I'm like, all right, fine. Let's
No
give it a shot.
way.
I was pretty much in the same boat as you. I had like The Voice when I was a young kid, and then I got casted by probably the same casting director you got casted as, Josh, that bloke.
No, mine wasn't.
Ah,
good.
damn. No, I got casted and they sold it to me like, yeah, it's like this new show. And I'm like, I don't want to do this reality TV show stuff, like, and past it. And they brought up Netflix and I'm like, oh, maybe I will do that. Okay. And then yeah, I did it, and here we are.
Yeah, I've never actually been in any TV shows yet. I was reached out to a few, but I was never really interested. But yeah, I'm pretty active on social media, so I was reached out through Instagram, and I heard the Netflix thing too, and I was like, you know what? I think this is worth a shot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went for it. Great decision.
Yeah, I just heard about it from management.
Yeah.
They just hit me up and were like, yo, this came across our plate. Do you want to do it? And I said no.
Really? So you
Yeah.
kind of all, except you didn't, Shane, you didn't say no.
Well, I was definitely standoffish, but once like they said, once I heard Netflix,
Yeah.
I was like, maybe this is something.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it, but then Daniel at Chug, our management company, was like, oh, just do the audition and then you don't have to do it. And then I just got further and further along the process until I was just on the show and I was like, oh, well, we're doing it.
Come back.
No way. Were you auditioning here in Australia or did you have to go over there?
No, it was in LA.
We went to LA for a
Wow.
day.
A day?
Mason and
Yeah,
I.
that was actually crazy.
And actually, I saw Mason in the TSA
No
line.
way.
Yeah, it's really funny. I was like in the TSA, and I saw you on TikTok. I see Mason on TikTok, and I'm like, I reckon he's auditioning for the same show as I am. I didn't talk to him or anything, but yeah, we went to LA on a Friday night, and we flew back home on a Sunday morning.
When you were in the booth then, because you've seen Mason on TikTok, did you know it was Mason singing?
Yeah, well, because Mason and I were pretty much the only Aussies. There was one other Aussie girl. And yeah, we got matched up with each other to talk. And I think that was one of the first things I said. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've like been on your lives on TikTok, and like, he looks like Heath Ledger. And that's the first thing I remember. I'm like, you look like Heath Ledger too, eh? But
Did you say yes?
I don't even know if I brought it up.
You
But
don't-
I said
yeah.
something about it, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, like,
Yeah, I do.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure I've seen you on TikTok. And then, yeah, it was from there, now we're in a band together.
While being in the booths, I suppose, what were your first impressions of each other? Let's start with you, Shane.
I thought that it was pretty crazy because, you know, we weren't allowed to see what we looked like. And I think the algorithm just worked out very well. Like, you know, we all were very, very alike, you know, like talking to each other, you know, we all had the same interests and seemed like we were all brought up kind of in a similar way. So, yeah, I think it worked great.
Totally.
My first thoughts, I really didn't have many for Shane because they didn't really, the whole algorithm thing didn't really put me in touch with him. So I
Okay.
barely got to talk to him. I remember Mason was one of the first ones I talked to, and we got along like right away. I was pretty much just waiting for Mason to come around, and then he ended up being cool, so
That's so
pulled
nice.
him right up in my ranking. Connor was always pretty high in my ranking, and then we hit it off the moment we talked. But and then they kind of brought Shane into the mix, and I was actually rooting for another guy initially. Wanted to bring a guy named Nico
Yeah.
in the group, but I mean, they just really felt strongly that Shane was the right pick. Happy it worked out this way, and I probably would have felt the same if I had talked to him more. But it was super brief interactions, but yeah.
Yeah, I was actually in the beginning very like like not 100% these guys and not 100% the other way. I was kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Which made it really hard because I wanted to like kind of mix like a little bit of like the R&B and the pop rock together. But then it just ended up being like R&B and rock. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do R&B. So I was lucky that they were still like, interested in having me in the group.
Totally.
And it worked out well.
So that first initial time when you walked out on stage and started singing together, what was your did you feel the chemistry? Did it feel sort of right?
Yeah, I mean, me and Connor have a little secret that
Netflix is gonna hate us.
Netflix won't like so much, but it's all good because the show's over. One day I was in my room and these rooms are tiny, so I was dying in there, and I had to open the window, and it opens about that much. So I stuck a little pen cap in there and I twisted it, and I was able to open it and lift the door open. And I always heard Connor singing below me, but I didn't know if it was Connor. So one day I was like, open your window.
No.
And
Spent like 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's like, I'm trying. He finally gets it open and he looks up at me and I'm looking down at him.
This was the night before we met, like fully.
Yeah,
like,
so we already knew we were like gonna be in a group together.
Oh,
And,
but so you saw each other's faces before you were meant to see each other's
I
faces.
remember when we walked out on stage, we were like kind of smiling.
Yeah, we gave each other a smirk, like we already know, like we have to act like we don't know what we look
Oh,
like.
no.
But I knew exactly
But-
what he looked like.
Yeah, we cheated the system.
So for Netflix watching, sorry.
Mason just looked like a proud dad out there. He's like,
Yeah. Like I'm trying to sing and Mason's over there like,
That's so
looking
nice.
at everybody.
he was the first one out too, which made it even worse. He's just standing there like finishes his
I was
part,
just happy, bro. I
hands
was
on the
like, here we
hips, just
go.
like, this is so good.
That is so nice. But then what, you sing and then you walk off stage and you start hanging out? Like
We moved in together.
You moved in together that night or that?
I think
we
it was the
got
night
next
after.
TV land, yeah.
In TV land that
Yeah.
night. But like, so what was that like, moving in together with people who you'd met, that's my worst nightmare. So like because very particular
think-
person.
Going from like living alone for a week and a half, 2 weeks, we were pretty isolated. So I think even if we didn't know each other fully well, it was just better than being alone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so much
okay.
fun to be.
Yeah.
But also, like, I felt like I did know everybody because we'd talked like through the booze, and like we had a bit of
Yeah.
interaction. It wasn't like I was pretty pumped to get to know you guys at that point.
Totally.
So it was cool.
It's kind of like you're coming out of like COVID again and you're like, people.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
really like that. Yeah.
Were there any moments where you, like we've seen, didn't get along, living together? Like how did that sort of pan out and sort of, I don't know, like maybe bring you closer as well?
Yeah, we'll let Mason take that.
All you, bro.
Got the prepared statement. No.
Get the piece of paper out, yeah.
Yeah, there was like a point in the show where Connor met a young lady and got a little distracted by said young lady who, and then we had some internal conflict, but we're all good now.
And it was because I suppose you're over putting everything into this, and I'm not having a go, but I'm just trying to understand the thought process, right? So like you're over there, you're putting everything into this, like both of you are away from home. I'm guessing you guys were as well, right? Like you're still not at home. Like it's a lot to put yourself into. So that's sort of the feeling. It was like the distraction was what was.
Yeah, I think that was probably the big part of it. Yeah, but it was it really just like escalated very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think because there was so much, like, you're in a pressure cooker on the show, and there's like cameras everywhere all the time following you around. So I think it just like
How did it
really
been?
escalated the situation. If it was in real life, it probably would have been pretty chill.
It would have been like over a text message, and that would have been
Well, you
that.
just know everything
Yeah.
you say is going out for the entire world to see. So
Totally.
It's like if I say one thing wrong in this stupid argument that's not even worth arguing over, everybody's going to see it.
Yeah, like what's that like? Because I guess, like you guys aren't, you watch something like Married at First Sight or whatever, like you can question why people are on that show. Like, are they actually there for love, or are they there because they want like clout and fame or whatever? But like for you guys, it's very clear why you're here. It's because you love music and you want to do something that you love. So what's that like then, being on a reality TV show where you're not only being perceived as musicians, but your personalities and like, like these arguments, like is that hard to deal with?
I think early on we kind of went in on the show wanting to be musicians more than like reality
Yeah,
TV
of course,
stars. And I think we made that really prominent. That we spoke a lot about music and writing and wanting to be songwriters and stuff like that. And I think we did pretty well with it,
I don't consider us reality TV stars at
No.
all. I think none of us consider ourselves, and nobody does actually. I
Yeah.
don't think.
Yeah.
We're musicians and songwriters in a band.
Yes.
You know, and I think I'm glad that we got to that kind of point in the show, and we all realize that.
Totally.
I think that's also what separates us from all the other bands, as well as like, you know, a lot of the bands on the show had this idea of, you know, TV, I want to win this, where we were just like, we got our band, like we're set. No matter whether we win this or not, we want to stick together, where other bands, you know, they're probably thinking about their solo careers after this and winning the show
Totally.
and getting that money. But we just thought about, like Mason's like, you know, as soon as this is over, we're going back to Australia and we're going to get to work. And, you know, we at that point started writing in our rooms and singing in the room together, other stuff, even not even on the show. And, you know, I think that we have a different drive. Like, we have a different mindset.
Yeah, we were definitely thinking like long term really early on. I think even when we hadn't seen each other yet, I was like, yo, you guys want to like
That was actually
run with
weird
this?
part.
You lied.
You lied.
Me too.
You fucked up.
I lied too.
Well, I went on that show like fully prepared to be like, I don't want to be a reality TV star, nothing like that. I just want to do my solo career and like have this just kind of push me there. Didn't expect to actually meet anyone I really liked, but yeah, Mason said one day in the booth, he's like, do you guys expect to be doing this in like the next 5 to 10 years? That's how far I want to take this.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, yeah.
And then you're looking at the camera going,
I'm like, yeah.
Me too. I was like,
yeah,
10
for
years.
sure.
Yeah.
So then wait, if you don't want to do, if you're asked that question and you want to do this in the next 5 or 10 years, like I suppose, what were you wanting to do for the next 5 or 10 years? Like if you're on the show to build the band, like what's...
I guess for me, the only reason I did this show is because my solo career kind of came to like a plateau, and I was just like, you know what, I need something to boost this, so maybe putting myself out there on Netflix would be great. And I was like, I'm not going to be in a boy band, no way, I'm going to do this, you know, put my name out there and then do my own thing after this. But as it went on, I was like, we performed together, and it was more fun performing in a group, and it was more fun hanging with a group and doing it with a group, like going through the highs and lows as a group. Like it was really cool feeling. So I think we all got addicted to that, and we're like, this is what we want to do.
That's so nice.
I would say the first day that we moved into the apartment together, like from that point on, I was sold on it.
Really?
I just had to meet them like actually see them
Totally.
and get to know them on that level. And then I was like, okay.
You must feel
I'd
so
actually be an
fortunate
idiot.
then, because like I guess not everybody has that coming on the show, right? That's something that's pretty
Yeah.
special and pretty lucky.
By day 3, we were running around the apartment naked.
I reckon like day two. Day
We'd
two.
streak across the living room, completely forget that there was like a security camera to make sure everyone was all right in the corner of the room. And we go walking across.
They spent a lot
And
of
every
chicken
once in a
butter.
while, we'll be like, yo, guys, just remind
yeah,
me. I
Netflix, it's
forget
a
about stuff.
PG-rated TV show. Yeah. And then you're all doing music before the show. You've all got your families at home. You know, you're not like, I suppose, exposed. Like you've got the exposure now. Like, has it been hard like, were you even allowed to speak to your family about what was going on at the time?
Yeah, we kind of
really.
had little moments, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, we had like our phones and stuff taken off us, and no social media and no like kind of contact to all your friends. But you could pick kind of like a cohort of people that you could speak to. Like I have my mum, and I think I have my dad and my little brother, and you could like set up a call with them, and yeah, like every week or like twice a week, I'd call my mum and tell her everything. I'm sure all the boys are the same, but
About
you just,
once or twice
it was
a
just a
week.
good little thing to like. One, hear another, like I'd Mason, but it was just so good to hear more accents. You know, we're surrounded by a lot of Americans and a lot of like
100%.
English people as well.
Okay.
But it was just good to get a sense of home,
Yeah.
like so far away from home.
Yeah.
And it helped a lot, so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah, I suppose. But you can't tell your friend. Like, were your friends like, where the fuck are you? Like, I don't know. Like, are you like? Do they know you're on a net? Like, are you allowed to tell them that?
No, I just told everybody that I was like going to record, and I wasn't taking my phone with me to like have a little getaway,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
And everyone
And
believed it, yeah.
Working alongside the judges as well, because there's some really big names there. There's obviously Liam and then Kelly and then Nicole. How was that taking on their criticisms or like taking on their positive feedback? Yeah, what's the experience working with people who've been in the industry in that limelight for so long?
I think working with Liam, Nicole, AJ, it was awesome. Like they were all really cool.
Yeah, I think Liam was a big one for us, you know. I think it's kind of hard not to be a boy band and look up to One Direction and what they did and everything they did. So yeah, when we like first kind of met Liam and spoke to him, it was just like, just in awe of like, holy shit, like we're standing with you right now and you're giving us advice. And he was really, just like he was the one that I really looked up to, and I really took everything he said importantly, and yeah, with a lot of meaning, because he gave us a lot of good advice, and we just knew that he's been through it all. Like he knows.
Totally.
Yeah.
Was there a piece of advice that he gave you that stood out?
I think I met with him. We played a session, and he was backstage, behind the stage. I think you boys were getting your mics up, and he was standing there alone, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go say hi to him. I said hi to him. We kind of going back and forth. He was talking about One Direction, and I was talking to him about like the process and stuff. And yeah, I think he just like really got it across to me, just have fun.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously they went through a gnarly experience, like from 16 years old.
Of course.
And yeah, he spoke about how he kind of just missed out on a lot of the fun because he was so locked in on what he was doing. So it's, yeah, it's simple, but just have fun and enjoy it. And we spoke for like maybe 10, 15 minutes backstage. It was really cool.
That's really cool.
Sick, yeah.
Did you guys have similar experiences?
Yeah, I was at like a party with him like post-show where it was like a few of like the cast were hanging out. So we got to hang out a little bit then. And yeah, he was great. Just had heaps of cool stories and advice. Yeah, and the main thing he was like, you just got to be really smart in business. He's like, we got fucked over and like, so yeah, and I think we have been. So.
Totally. I suppose with the One Direction thing as well, like it's hard not to, especially with Liam being on the show, there will be parallels drawn between you guys and One Direction, right? Like how do you feel about that?
I think it's awesome. I mean, even on the show, Liam Payne said, you know, he thought we could be the next One Direction. He had a soft spot in his heart for us, which was definitely awesome to hear from him, you know. And I don't mind that at all. I think that they were awesome.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, they're like arguably the biggest boy band that's ever been, right? Well, who else would there be, like Backstreet Boys or something?
Beatles.
Yeah, would you call the Beatles a boy band? I guess so, you would. They're boys in a band.
I think comparison's inevitable. I think, you know, no matter who we are, what we do, we're going to be compared to someone. Every artist is, you know what I mean? But One Direction's a pretty good 100%. Comparison.
Totally.
Like, they ruled the world at one point. Yeah.
What about also like, you know, going from, I mean, most of you, I know that Shane, you have quite a few followers on Instagram, but most of you before the show, like not, you know, a crazy, huge following, then how do you now deal with walking into the limelight and being on a Netflix show that potentially millions of people are going to watch?
I just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Cool.
If anything for me, it's just going to be another positive thing. And, I don't know. I've gotten like a bunch of comments based off other TV shows I've been on, and people will flood your social media, say whatever they want, because nobody cares and you can't see them. But I don't know. I just like to see the comments come in, whether they're hate comments, if they like you, and hopefully people really do like us. And
I'm sure.
Be good,
I'm sure you guys are pretty likable. So
yeah, I mean, I'm just excited about the whole thing. And whatever happens. I'm just gonna roll with it. And
totally.
Kinda,
It has happened.
It has happened. Yeah.
Just for,
well, the fact that it's happened. No, I mean, I just kind of roll with it, and yeah, I'm just excited to see how big it actually will get from this point.
For sure, because you've had like this year of like waiting for the show to even come out. Like the anticipation, I feel like it's like it doesn't really matter. It's just more excitement about like now being actually able to like show the world what's going on and like pursue these connections that you've made with each other and write and record and you know play to people, which is like the goal, right?
Yeah. So, and I think we just have a bunch of music that we're like really proud of now as well, and it's just cool to finally get to start sharing it with people, you know.
What do you guys think were the like hardest or like the most challenging parts of the show?
I think the isolation was tricky.
Yeah.
The isolation was really, for me at least, the isolation was hard. It was just kind of got lonely at times, you know, like the only people you could speak to were like the welfare team, and that was only like certain times a day. So that was pretty difficult for me, you know, being away from my friends and my family. Being away from skating actually was tricky. The skate, so it was really hard not to be able to skate. But
did you have like a little, what do they call, like top deck things?
No, I was going to bring a tech deck. But I left it at home. I was actually going to bring my Xbox to play Skate 3, but they didn't let me.
Oh, really?
It was so devo. I was going to not go because of that. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, like not being able to do the things that I'd normally be doing was really, really hard.
Yeah.
I think one of the hardest things for me was, you know, I mean, I think it's going to benefit us in the long run, but I think we were definitely the odd ones out genre-wise.
Okay.
And, you know, there was definitely, you know, a winning band it felt like they had in mind, which had to do with more so R&B and dancing and, you know, more movement, where we kind of wanted to be like laid-back rock stars.
Cool.
which, you know, we were the underdogs pretty much the whole show. Like, we literally were in the
Come on, it's
bottom.
happening.
We were in
It's
the
gonna
bottom.
happen someday.
We were in the bottom 2 every single time, and it just didn't make sense for us. But it was definitely difficult to deal with that. Like, put our all into a performance, and like, boom, you guys are in the bottom 2. Boom, you guys are in the bottom 2. It's like,
Next week we'll be in the top. We weren't.
yeah.
Confidently
So,
saying every interview.
but
The next one, I'm telling you.
But like, what I will say about that is I can confidently say that we're more prepared than all the other bands on the show, and we left that show, and within a few weeks after, Mason had us sorted out, and we came to Australia and started recording songs, and you know, we have content for days, and we're
Yeah.
ready to go.
We didn't win the
So
show, but we
exciting.
won the show.
Yeah.
What does that feel like, I guess, being in bottom 2 and then also like not winning the show? Like, did that matter to you really, or were you kind of like, because it feels like you're like, we've got tunnel vision now and we know where we're going. Like this, it'd be cool to win maybe, but it's not the goal. almost?
Yeah. I mean,
I think, I hit a point in the show, our last performance, when we did get sent home, we just said there was nothing else we could have done.
Yeah.
Like, we were so happy. I remember, like, I was standing in the elevator, and, like, we just got kicked off, and I'm standing there, like, I feel like I should be sad. But I'm like, this is fucking sick. Like, we just
Yeah.
made a great band. We pretty much won the show. We made a band. We made a band that we loved. And it was just a really confusing thing, because I'm like, I feel like I should be sad, but I just wasn't. I was, like, on top of the moon.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
it
Even-
was so good, man.
Even in our like exit interviews, they kept being like, oh, you know, maybe we could get you guys to just show a bit more emotion. Like, we were all like beaming. We were like, hell yeah, we got like, like we actually weren't even upset at all. We were like,
Yeah.
we've got like a single coming out, we're going
Yeah.
on tour. Like, we were already in like promo mode.
Yeah. You're
Yeah,
like, guys, this
and
is like
they're
old news for us.
Yeah, and they're like, guys, like, you know, trying to like get us to cry basically, and we were like just fucking around.
yeah, I would say like I have to be honest, I definitely was pretty disappointed because I'm super competitive and like feeling that like, you know, like we did everything we could and it was like still like we didn't get much credit for it, felt like.
Yeah.
And but you know, a few months after the show, seeing like the bands that did better than us on the show, like where they're at right now, is like, you know, maybe everything happens for a reason, you know.
Definitely.
And we were put together for a reason, and
I
this is
believe-
like true artistry right here, you know.
We just kept
Totally.
remembering as well, One Direction didn't win, so I was like,
Right.
We just kept thinking about the whole time, it's like,
Exactly.
they didn't win, like-
100%. 100%. I
Yeah.
mean, you know Matt Corby? Matt Corby
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
win, and
Yeah,
Matt
yeah.
Corby's like
Amazing.
arguably
Yeah.
one of like my favorite Australian
Knowlesy?
artists. Like,
No,
yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Totally. Yeah, you got Knowlesy. Yeah.
Robbed?
So now obviously the show's out. We've got a single, which was a collaboration between Amy Allen, Benson Boone, and yourselves. What the hell? How does that feel?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we got sense of music, and we all, I think they heard about our project and sent it over, and we were just obviously pretty excited because
Yeah.
there's some big artists.
I mean,
And
Amy Allen's
then-
written for like Sabrina Carpenter, Harry Styles,
Yeah.
One Direction. Like
Yeah.
she wrote Matilda, I'm pretty sure, or like helped write, and like Olivia Rodrigo, like crazy big names.
Yeah, I think Zach could also speak on that. That's like pretty full circle
Yeah, I
moment
was
for
just
you.
about to say that. Yeah, it was super full circle because I sang Beautiful Things on the show. That was my first like audition song when I came on as a solo artist, and I come off the show and all of a sudden I'm singing a song that was written with Benson Boone. So
That's crazy.
that was definitely pretty nuts to
So-
have that little bit in there. So,
Totally,
yeah.
totally. Have you spoken to either of them, or was it like did you?
We're on a text thread at the minute, and we're like going through like final changes
Cool.
with the song.
Yeah.
So yeah, just trying to think because we wrote like we've made some like changes and written the bridge and stuff. So we're just trying to like
Sick.
finalize everything, but we're pretty close.
That's so sick. How do you, songwriting wise, how do you then plan to keep songwriting as a band? Because you obviously live on opposite sides of the world or different parts of America. You're 3 hours away from each other, but how does that look?
I mean, we've done a mix at this point. Most of our stuff has been the four of us, but I know Mason and Connor wrote you wrote a few songs together, and then me and Shane just recently were writing a few songs in Nashville together. So we mix it up a little bit.
It all works out in the long run. I feel
Yeah.
like, being separated is like, it is what it is. And sometimes they'll write songs, and then sometimes we'll write songs, and, we'll have just more songs.
Totally. I
It's,
mean, do you reckon you guys would move to the States ever?
Yeah, I think we probably will.
Yeah.
Someday.
someday.
Yeah. We'll
It's
see.
also cool to like mix it up a bit because me and Shane share a very similar style. Like, what would you say we are at this point? Like a
Soft rock,
reggae,
country
jazz.
rock.
like
Yeah.
soft rock, country rock,
Cool.
Opera,
not really
rap.
jazz. And they're more like singer-songwriter type stuff. So when you kind of mash them all together, take little bits of each genre, kind of make some cool stuff. So.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
And then to future guests going on the show, what would be your advice to them?
Pack snacks.
Bring it.
So
Smuggling an iPhone.
my advice to
Catering
anyone,
wasn't that good.
my advice to anybody coming on the show is when you get there, bring an extra phone. And as soon as you get in your hotel room, hide it somewhere where they can't find it, and then hand in your real phone or your fake phone. Actually.
Okay.
So you'll have a phone the whole time you're there.
Yeah,
What?
you heard it here first, guys.
On a real note, though, I would say don't settle for someone you're not like happy with in your band.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't imagine if I pulled up to that room and you guys were just like, you just sucked. Like, what would you have done? You have to spend a month with these people now. And so I would just say, stay true to yourself and just don't sway your
Yeah.
opinions and stuff just because you want to stay on the show. So I was doing that a little bit, but I did get lucky enough to end up picking the right option. But
Yeah, I think stay
Other than
stay
that-
true to yourself. Be open to change as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think there would have been a lot of people on that show that went in just wanting to be a solo artist, and you know, they used to went on the show wanting to be a solo artist. But I think be open to change and growth and just live in it, really. Like experience it, because there were times when I was performing and I'd get off the stage and I'd be like, "Whoa, what just happened?" Just like live in it, like experience it and remember it. Because it's a gnarly experience, it really is.
Yeah.
It's fun and it's really, really different.
And it's also quite, like you say, like a month. A month isn't a long time, so that's like a very intense,
Yeah.
like, just like gung-ho experience, right?
Yeah, I feel like even off what Zach said, it's just like, you know, I think if you are yourself in the end, you're gonna end up in a better position where, you know, I think some of the people in that lineup might have picked somebody just because, you know, they might win the competition because they have the best voice or this or that. But I feel like we all genuinely vibed with each other.
100%.
And that's the reason we're still together. And
That's so
that's
nice.
also the reason that a lot of the other bands are split up already.
Yeah. And it's like looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mason spoke about that a lot. Is not just picking like the best voice ever, but picking potential as well, like knowing who this person could be in a year's time or like 6 months' time. I think picking potential is a really, really big one. You know, don't just go off the best singer you can have. Go off character and uniqueness and personality. I think that's what we all did. Really.
It's interesting how like all of you say Mason said this. Like you kind of like, do you feel like if
Mason's definitely like
Yeah.
the father.
yeah,
Yeah.
in age-wise too.
do you feel that way as well?
Well, I'm a few years older. These three are all 22. I'm 25. So I've been around the block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a rough 25 right there.
It's pretty special. It's pretty special hearing you all like talked about him that way. And like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you obviously have a lot of respect for each other, but then also like to hear you speak about Mason that way.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, well, to be fair, Mason is the only reason we're in this position right now filming this podcast. So, you know, I think that it's awesome because he could have, you know, went off this show and, you know, continued as a solo artist. Probably wouldn't go as well, but but he decided to bring us in.
That's so cool.
We're grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
one of
sorry.
the first nights we were there, we were all just sitting around the table. Like the first night we moved in together, we were sitting there just nailing Mason with questions. Like, you've done this, what's it like? Just going at it, just because he's got way more experience as well with a lot of this stuff than we do. So
Totally. I mean, pretty special to have that. But then I'm sure you all bring your own individual things to the table. You know. It's
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I get to we all take care of Mason, like help him get out of bed in the morning and stuff. Like
he
make
has like a hard
breakfast for
time
him.
coming down the stairs sometimes.
Yeah.
It's old
You have to
age.
get him one of those travelator things up the stairs that you
Yeah.
can sit in, and it's just like.
I get stuck wiping his ass.
All right, that's enough. That's that shit about Mason, all right? Fucking 25.
And then I suppose finally your tour, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
how do you feel about it? Like, are you guys building this tour yourselves? Are you getting help from external places? Like, what's that look like?
We have a lot of insight into a lot of the things we do, which is great. I think
Yeah.
we all wanted that super. Like, we wanted to be able to create stuff and have our vision put into the project. And I think that's what we're doing for tour as well. And I think it's pretty much all our first times going on this big tour. You know,
So
tour
sick.
bus in a different country. He was in America. The world tour, you know, different country, new fans, new experiences, a lot of good music. And yeah, it's just so exciting. So exciting.
So cool. Are you guys doing choreo, like at all?
Not really.
Not really.
They like. Yeah, we're definitely not one of those boy bands.
Yeah, I feel like just positioning, even, you know, on the show, not to throw anybody under the bus, but they gave us all positionings and stuff like that, and the judges would be like, why'd you do that, that, and that? And that's exactly what the choreo people told us to do. So I think the biggest
Right.
thing is, you know, we're just going to be
Because they
ourselves
told me
up there.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, we just, I don't know, and it's just really not natural for any of us to.
Yeah.
I think just being ourselves on stage is what we kind of aim to do, you know, like
Totally.
fuck around with each other and
I mean, it's gotten
have
you this
fun.
far, right?
Zach's,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Zach's
Yeah.
probably the only one who could really dance. Like, he does a lot of hip hop and
It's
stuff.
true, he
but-
can move.
Maybe we should get the
Little
spotlight on
demo,
Zach
Zach.
to
Oh,
doing
yeah.
the shit. Yeah.
do it. Go Zach.
Go Zach!
Cool.
No, Shane can actually move a bit though.
Yeah.
I'm convinced Shane can be
It's true, I
a
have seen
very
it,
good
yeah.
dancer if he just
Yeah.
gives it a little bit of work.
Come on, Shane.
Yeah, I don't know
He
about
could,
that.
he could just like, he has a shit where he like takes it through his body.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just do it. Give us one.
You gotta pay to see that.
I just gave him
Well,
my best shot, and that's what I got.
thanks so much for coming on. I suppose last question would be 5 years from now, where do you want to be?
Start with Mason, because that's a long. That's not too far.
Well, Mason's already, guys, got to think 5 years, 10 years. you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying he's gonna be old.
He's
in
just
5
trying
Oh,
to
right.
he's just trying to like make it.
Yeah, I'll be at the retirement village.
5 years from now, Mason, go.
5 years from now, I just want to be doing this still,
Yeah.
but just to a, you know, grander scale, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just see how far we can take it. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I got 3 little brothers and we're going to take over the world. And
So cool. Love that.
Yeah.
Grandchildren.
I feel like for me, 5 years from now, like obviously the same thing. I want to be doing this, and you know, I want to. My end goal is to put my parents in a better situation, and you know, take care of them and make sure they never have to work again. That's my first goal.
That gave me goosebumps. That's so nice.
Yeah, I think after that, you know, that's just continue doing my music. But
Yeah.
That's my first priority.
Totally. That's
Yeah.
so nice.
I think 5 years from now, like bigger shows, bigger audiences, bigger fan bases. And I think personally, I'd really love to write a lot more for other people as well. You know what I mean? Like 5 years from now,
Totally.
writing bangers for other people and
Yeah.
writing bangers for all of us. And yeah, just a bigger environment, you know, a lot more fans, friends, workers and colleagues and better experiences.
Yeah, I mean, 5 years from now, I'd like to see probably a full stadium full of people screaming our music back at us. That'd be pretty
Yeah.
awesome. And same goes for me, as like Shane said. I agree. I've always said I wanted to retire my family. I've been telling them that since I was like probably 5. Just, yeah, I always told my dad I'd park a Corvette in the driveway for him. So one day I'm going to pull that up. Put a
Oh,
big like
man, that's
bow
cool.
on it for him and say happy birthday or Merry Christmas, something
Please
like
let
that.
me know when you do. I really want to know, okay? You have to tell me.
Yeah,
since
then,
you were 5 is crazy. You're just like 5 years old, like Dad. Corvette, driveway. It's going to happen, man.
Someday.
No, it
Someday.
wasn't
I
the
got you.
Corvette. I remember realistically probably like 10. I was in 5th
Right.
grade. I did my first performance and I'm like, you know what, this is what I want to do. And I remember telling my parents, I'm like,
Was that the Jungle Book
gonna-
performance?
that came after. That's
Zach's been at this for a while. I think now would be a good time to plug that YouTube video right here.
His dad sees the Jungle Book one and he goes, I'm never getting that call.
maybe I over exaggerated with 5, but maybe like 10 years old, I did my
Yeah.
first performance and I was like, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna retire my parents at some point.
So
And,
cool.
I was hoping that I'd be like 16. I always picture myself pulling up to high school in like an Audi R8 or something. That didn't happen.
Like
It was-
17.
It was a rusted out Subaru Legacy, but it's fine. Yeah.
Nice.
Hopefully that all comes true soon.
I think so. I'm excited to see, and I can't wait to see like what happens for you guys over the next years, and like have you guys back into the laundry so we can talk about it, which would be really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of dirty laundry to wash right now.
Yeah,
so
that's it. Save it for me.
Yeah,
Don't tell
Should have
me.
brought it over.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, and
you.
Thank you.
enjoy your trip
for
back
having us.
home and your guys' trip back home, and
Thank you very
I
much.
mean maybe not home, maybe the world.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.